Okay, so November 18th, Thursday, we have the daily close in 20 minutes. And this is the monthly chart. So we are testing this after a kind of bullish close, but still below that week, but above all these closes here. So it's a bullish close on the monthly. We are now red, trying to find support on this area from these three candles that week, or because it's still 18 days before the close, the monthly close, we have these wicks and this area that we can even come down to test as support. But of course, we never know what can happen. We can have a big red candle. So let's see a day at a time. Remember, euphoria to fear, fear to euphoria. Remember, we have all these moving averages here. These ones weren't touched, and we still have the 12 that has been holding the price all this time. And we have these wicks as support on the monthly. We are still above 70 here, so we can have another up down when we can still touch it on the 70 and try to push higher, or we can have something like this and come below. Nobody knows, just risk management, and everything is being quite precise from these moves, like as I explained before, this move here, if you connect this dot with that candle here, you get the move up. So we are any closes below this trend line, rejections from this trend line, we can come below. I'm taking it out, but so you know, also on the weekly. But anyway, I'll go to the weekly after. So we have all these areas. If we have big corrections, just be prepared for everything. As long as we hold this, we are still fine, and we can still go to the 70s, 80s, or even above. But my target is this trend line, and if we close above, we can go higher. As simple as that, like we are trying to do here. As if we close the months above this one, we can range here and then push higher. Closes below, the swing low starts to get tricky. Weeks until here, it's still fine. Weeks until here to the 52, to the 47, 46, it's fine. If we come here to the 30s, starts not to get fine because we do a lower high compared with this area here, close below the swing low, and then we can range, and then maybe we can down, depending on the stock market as well. So this is the monthly, very simple. As you know, I have this trend line, I can do this. This was the one that we got the bull run because of rejection here, closed above, confirmed support, 2 months. On the third one, we got the bull run, and now I create this one with the area above, which might be aligned in a few months with the 100. And yeah, so I'm using this because when we went up here, we didn't touch it as support. So this is my area for starting to think about long-term investments. All the rest is just swing trades and trades. Everything above this area here, the base that we created on the 28, 29, it's just for trades and swing trades. We also have the 20K all-time high, which is this candle close on the 19,700 more or less, also as support, and yeah, also this one as support. So many areas for bounces if we come below, but until there, we play the range, and we are in this range, trying to go for a higher low compared with this area. So we can do here a bull flag, or we can come here and do some more consolidation. Let's see how the bulls defend this area. So this is the monthly. Going for the weekly. So we are testing this support here on all these candles, but we also have this one we already tested, which is aligned now with the 12. And if I take all these lines, remember that we also went above, because if we draw a trend line from this top to that top, and we do something like this, this top with this top gave the bounce here as well. So many convergences when we went higher. So you understand how trend lines work. And yes, so now we are in this support on the monthly, which is also this weekly support, trying to hold. We already came to test this one, but of course we can come down and test these supports here on the weekly as well, which is also connected with the monthly. And if I take out all these lines, you see that we have the 12, 21, 20, 50 moving averages as support. This swing low here, it's on the 12, on the 57. We might touch it, and then let's see if we do kind of a double bottom with this week, or we come down to the 20 and come to this support. So it's quite precise. When we came down here, we went up, we came down, and with these 2 weeks here, or this area here, we touched the support, which was this previous candle. So now we can also come to test this area, which is alongside the 21. So these are areas for good swing trades and trades. Just be patient, because even if we go higher, we should go there sooner or later. Resistance now here on 63.2 more or less, and this candle on 60.9 around. So we are trying to hold this support for now. Remember, indicators pointing down on the weekly. At the moment, we can do something like this, but let's see if we hold or not. Now to the daily. So we close above the 50, we bounced, we did some kind of, it's not a double bottom, tweezer bottom, because this one came a bit below. And let's see if we close above this previous candle or below. It's 15 minutes to go, and we are finding rejection. We are rejecting that area. We have resistance on the moving averages here on this area around here, which is very obvious. From here, all these will be all these areas are resistances now, and we have all these moving averages below. We are not oversold on the daily, so that's why we can still have a bounce, because we are in this monthly support and weekly, and come to the moving average. But let's see if this is the base and we push higher from here, or if we still come down a little bit more. And remember, daily oversold, still not done, but we can have bounces. All these, remember, we have the weeklies here, and the dailies, the 200s, the 100, the 50, we are trying to hold. And on the 4 hours, we are here in this range below the 200 exponential and finding rejections from the 12. We still have all these moving average as resistance, and we have the 377 here below, and the 21, the 12 and the 21 below. So we are ranging. This can be a bear flag, and trying to push higher with this hammer, but rejecting, and this a bearish engulfing straight after, and now we are ranging here inside bars in this area, trying to decide what we do. We were oversold and we are trying to push higher, but we can go oversold again and come below here. And if this is accumulation, we can range, even come here, and suddenly we can come down and then maybe push higher from this area or keep on dropping. So this was very easy yesterday with a Fibonacci. When we got this hammer, we draw a Fibonacci to the top, and then you add the areas for you to get the higher low, because we got the low, trying to get a higher low to push higher. See, we are starting to get green, and we got the retracement until almost yeah, the 6.18, and then we always close these 3 candles closing above the 50% retracement, and now trying to push higher inside bar. But you got the entry, even if you didn't get this one, you got the entry for the higher low, and you can put your stop loss below here, or you could put your stop loss below this area and take profits on the way up. And then even if we go down, you're protected, and you can take profits now on the way up. Even here, when if you got the trade here on this area, You could have sold a little bit here. You can sell a little bit here or here, and even put a stop loss on break even. Okay, so on 4 hours we can still range a bit higher, but we are ranging. So let's see what we do. But this was an easy trade. Low, hammer, got the higher low, and now trying to push higher to try to get the lower high or the lower high on these areas, and still a good trade, especially on halts that can give more profits. But this was easy, and if you want to take the risk, stop loss below here or below here if you got the area here. Remember, this will be, everything will be resistance. We broke the trend here on the daily, so this can still be a bear flag, although we can come to the 21 and the 20. Let's see what we do. And yeah, that's where we are in Bitcoin. So remember, sooner or later we have to come down, but as long as we hold, we can still push high. Remember, support, resistance, try not to have bias, see what the price is telling you, because the patterns are not lying, and they are quite simple. As long as they close above support, it's a buying opportunity, just manage your risk. So we are trying to hold. Resistance will be this moving average, all this area until here or here. And we can do a trend line also from this top with that top, and we create a trend line. Okay, so depending if you're aggressive or passive. If you're aggressive, you made an entry here, waiting to push higher. If you're passive, you get more conservative, you can try to wait for lower, for the daily oversold, and this can take still a while. Okay, so Ethereum, the same, trying to hold the support, which is quite easy to understand. It's the previous peak, this line, support, up, resistance, trying to hold again. Let's see if this holds. As long as this holds, we can push higher and range. And if we close above that one, we can push higher. So very easy for risk management, Ethereum. And it closes below, we have all these moving averages. Everything above this area is still a higher low to push higher. So we still can come here. As long as we don't close below this swing low, still a nice healthy correction to push higher. So just be prepared for everything, because we are on grid mode. Crypto fear index, let's see where we are. So we are neutral. We were on extreme greed and greed and greed. So now we are neutral. Remember, we can go from extreme greed to fear and extreme fear. We are neutral at the moment. So the balance can tilt very fast. And back again. So Cardano, very fast analysis. So ranging, holding, support here, which are the 200s moving average on the daily, trying to hold. But remember, we have these areas here below. You can wait for oversold or touch the 30 and below. So we still red, and we can still range, but remember, if you want to take the risk, put your stop loss below, take profits on the way up, and if we come down, you're out, and you try again. Very simple. It's more easy to understand where we are, so not looking good, but we are still ranging. As long as we hold this, we can push higher, but big resistance. Look at the wicks, selling wicks, selling wicks. Try to push higher, selling wick, red, and we will close the day still in this area. Remember, we have here, which is aligned with the 50. This support not tested. We have this support, which was not tested. Actually was, maybe it was, but anyway. So we have these two supports, and we have all the range here, that is big range. Closes below, we make a lower high, and then it will be harder to go higher. So we need to hold this range, and this range here, and especially this one and this one. So let's see, this is very precise Cardano chart, but we are pointing down. Let's see if we hold the 50. We are still above 50. So if we hold the 50 on the weekly here, it's still okay to try to push higher. So very simple, very simple. You can use also this area, this week here for basically this candle close. You can use this or the week above. So there's many areas for you to try to get fish, bottom fish if they hold and you get buying wicks, and then you can put your stop loss below. So Stellar still rejecting, always rejecting from this area. We tried rejection. Remember, we have the 200s and 100 on this area. I'm seeing this range here. Of course, we can come below. It's a simple chart as well, and it's not being able to pass. And we have the high, lower high, and I'm looking to this area. Let's see if this holds. If this holds, if we close above here, I can still come in here or higher. So let's see what Bitcoin does. It's pointing down. So this chart, it's quite simple as well. Cardano, remember, 1 point, 2 points, and this trend line for a correction, bigger correction is waiting, because 1 point, 2 points, and it's here waiting. If it closes above, it's good. So remember that for the future. But this is the range I'm looking at first to see if this holds, to try to push higher. And any closes above here, we can go all-time highs. So this is a good chart. It's long time accumulation, but we can still come here or here. If we close above here, still fine to go up. So see what happens with Stellar. As long as we hold the 50 here on the weekly, it's still fine. So, and true, big volatility. Also simple chart, top, rejection, third touch, bang, down. We have this, everything above here is a higher low to try to go higher. And this is good volatility. Remember, I'm looking at this for an entry. I'm not doing it here. I'm waiting for this area. And very easy for risk management as well. This is the weekly chart. You can do a trend line from this dot to that dot as well, instead of going from the monthly. This was done on the monthly. So some charts, CHIO as well. See, big volatility coming down already below this support. Remember, this trend line, this area will be very good for a big swing trade with good profits ahead. So this was easy. Also, this was the range, the lows, and we came down to test the support here and bang up. So this was this is a very easy chart. Just be patient, and support will be here. Of course, we can stop on these areas on the previous high and this week. So we should stop in this area, but maybe go up, which will be a good swing trade also for profits, but eventually we will come down to test this. Okay. Strong. Mana still strong, but we got 1 point, 2 points, 3 points rejection. Back there, rejection, holding this support as long as we hold this range. This is the big range resistance here. Now, we can still go higher on this one. Let's see what Bitcoin does. Sheep, so also accumulation, very easy. As soon as we closed above, touch support, bull run, and now trying to make a bull flag. As long as we hold this, we can still push higher. But remember, we have the moving average. We have this range on the 12. We have this one on 21, and the 20 is going higher, which can be also this week. So remember, very precise, and see where we stop. If Bitcoin comes down, see where it stops. You can make good profits. Remember, also this stop here, not tested as support. So we can even come down here sooner or later. Remember, this is a meme coin and big volatility. Remember the accumulation, how it works. And I think we will, if we come down, we will do something like that for a few months or weeks to accumulation and then explode up or down. Okay, I like this chart as well. This one was very easy. I gave it to my friends. I showed like this when we were here. I showed this that we can have a move as long as we close above this range. And we closed above, we went down, 2 candles closing above, boom, bang, closed above here, trying to push higher, finding resistance here. We can come down back to test this trend line here to go to this all-time high, but so understand how it works. This was the accumulation area, was this area, and now this trend line will be the next accumulation. And not looking good, this one. Let's see if it holds. Big rejections, big weeks, selling weeks. So coming down, not looking at it. And this one is interesting because 1 point, 2 points. If we come down here and we hold, I will make an entry and put a stop loss below. Or if we start touch and I don't get it, and then we close above here, I'll put a stop loss below some area, some of this range, but I'm trying to try to grab this low here to see if it holds. If it holds, and then I'll put a stop loss, take profits on the way up a little bit to have a risk-free entry. Okay, what more? A bit of stock market. So S&P 500, red, so looks toppy. Remember, we need to hold this. We close below. We trying to go to this trend line. Let's see. But we are red, still red. Let's see if we have enough strength or we come down to test these supports again. Remember, on the futures on S&P 500, we are testing the trend line that if we look at it, so this is very tricky. Let's see if we close the months above or not. This is the huge trend line that we are testing again, and we always reject it, but we kept on going higher, and then we come down, go down. Remember, we have this range, this channel on S&P. Remember, look at where we are. So remember, greed to fear, and we can have many places to see when we go down where we stop, and we have the 200s below here. If something more dramatic happens. So remember, but as long as we hold here, we are fine. We are facing resistance. Bit of Nasdaq, also red. We are in this range, this trend line. Let's see if we close below this yellow dot, we will come down. So let's see, we look toppy, but we can still push one more time with short squeezes. And gold still looking good, breaking out from the 21. So monthly, remember, we hold the 21 here, with this candle we closed above this resistance and broke. So now we are looking for this area, and this area, and support. Everything above here is still a higher low, and support will be here. So remember, we can still, this takes time, but looking good on gold, breaking out from the 21, but still not passing the resistance here, this big one. So that's the target, first target, second target, and third target. Dollar breaking out, so not looking good for the stock market. Remember, we got this triangle closed above, holding the 21, trying to come here or here. Remember, the market, everyone has been bearish on dollar, and dollar doing the opposite, as I said before. As long as we hold this trend line, we hold it here, close above, and we are going there, or even higher. So remember, we were here trying to push higher. So following just the chart, very simple. Bullish engulfing, bull flag, trend line closed above, bull flag above all the moving average, and now we are above the 50 as well, trying to come here or higher. And the VIX, big kind of bearish, but closing, always closing above this trend line. That comes from 2017. So always holding the trend line. The trend line is a bit like, it's like here, more or less. Anyway, you got the picture. And now resistance, trying to close this one above. Let's see if we come down, push higher, and the stock market can come down a little bit. Correct. Let's see. And I guess that's it. Let's just see. Porto coin from Football Club do Porto token. Wait a little bit. So we retraced 50%. It was open. The token opened like 3 days ago, more or less. It made 4,500%, more or less. Retraced 50% yesterday, and let's see where we stop. We need to create a range to see where we create a base for it, and then I will trade it. Not yet. So it's still opening. Sorry for this. It's still not on trading view. So 1 second. Okay, so we are trying to hold this, and this is the 50% retracement, and now we can look at least to this area. If this holds, if we come here, it's 11%. If we go higher, 20. If we go higher, 50%. If this is a base, but remember we can go there, reject, be here for a little while. Sorry about the dogs. This is Manchester City token, so looking very, this is how it works. This is on TradingView, so I think might be more, but doing kind of the same, trying to find a base. We were like already more time ranging, rejecting, new range. Let's see if we reject and keep on coming down. And something like this can happen with Porto, so be patient. Mara. So not looking good, but trying to do a higher low here. Try to push to here or up. But remember, we have all these areas and we are not oversold. Yeah, so it's a patience game. Remember, bearish engulfing on the daily, on Mara. Remember, we have all these moving average below, pointing down. And that's it. Let's see how Bitcoin stopped, close the day. Everything. Okay, so Bitcoin daily. Okay, still green, and we closed above this, so we can still go to here, here, or high. Okay, so we still closed green, but remember we are ranging, and this will be big resistance.